Yes. This is Michael Rapaport, and you are listening to the world premiere broadcast of the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast. That is right. This is the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast, live and direct from an undisclosed location. I'm close, but I'm also far away. Don't worry about where I am. Worry about where you are. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm enormously excited to be starting the I Am Rapaport podcast. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. We're going to be discussing the world music, hip-hop, jazz, reggae, rock, everything in between, movies, my favorite movies, your favorite movies, sports, why my teams are good and your teams suck, things I like, things I don't like, things other people like. I got a dream list. Some of the people that I want to have on the I Am Rapaport podcast, my wish list includes Quentin Tarantino, Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, every Italian-American actor or director that exists. Allen Iverson. I would love to get Allen Iverson on here. I don't think he's been interviewed in a few years, and I think that we can have a good, fun, thorough interview. Who else do we want to get on here? Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie together. I would love to have Meryl Streep, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Juliette Lewis. Who else would I like to interview? Christopher Walken. Since we're going to do Christopher Walken, I'll say Dustin Hoffman, Joe Pesci. There's so many people I'd love to interview. Julius Dr. J. Irving, Bernard King, Michael Ray Richardson, Dwayne Pearl Washington. Anyway, we're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to curse. I'm going to say motherfucker, shit, motherfucking shit, fuck, shit, ass, everything in between, variables and syllables and syllabuses on every one of those curse words and more to come. It's the I Am Rapaport podcast. Don't worry about where I am. Okay, I could be anywhere right now. You never know. Could pop up behind you. Could run up behind you. You never know where I am doing this from. I'm going to be doing episodes from my car, on airplanes, bathrooms in airplanes, on sets, movie sets, television sets, other people's shit. I'm going to just go to other people's sets and set up my podcast. Here are some of the inspirations for the I Am Rapaport podcast. Well, first, the logo, totally inspired by Blue Note Records. We are heavily inspired by Bravo TV. We are heavily inspired by Marvin Gaye. We are heavily inspired by the Rolling Stones. We are also heavily inspired by Allen Iverson, Ghostface Killer, and Tupac. All right? We are heavily inspired by Larry David, Woody Allen, and any and all peace-loving and positive Ashkenazi Jews. This podcast, the I Am Rapaport podcast, is heavily inspired by the Ashkenazi Jews as a whole. Now, the reason why I say that, the word Ashkenazi, how much fun is that to say? Ashkenazi. Ashkenazi. All right, so I fucks with the Ashkenazis. I am full Ashkenazi. Listen, I'm excited to be doing the I Am Rapaport podcast. When I was younger, I was teased and called Michael Rapacrap. I still hold that scar deep in my heart. Call me motherfucking Rapacrap. We're going to get into all this stuff on the I Am Rapaport podcast. All right? We're going to get into everything. I was teased as a child. I wasn't bullied, but I was teased. I was bullied. Everybody was bullied. You're not bullied until someone comes along who could fucking kick your ass. Then you're, not being bullied. Anyway, I was bullied. I was teased, but I dished it out more than I took it. But I was called Rapacrap, Rapafuck, Rapashit, all of it. Fuck you. Fuck you. Now who's getting the last laugh? Ha ha. I just started the I Am Rapaport podcast, you fuck you. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 calling me Michael Rapacrap. Rapacrap. It's got such a ring to it, I couldn't even argue about it. I liked being called Rapacrap. It's funny. Being called Rapacrap is funny. It made me laugh. I didn't never really get bothered by it. Rap-a-fuck, rap-a-douche, rap-a-dickhead, that's fucking crossing the line. But Rapacrap, if you want to call me Michael Rapacrap, go ahead. Makes me laugh. Okay? What else? We are in the middle of episode 1. The breakthrough episode, the groundbreaking fucking, we're out of the gate. We knocked down the wall. The I Am Rapoport podcast is up. People, the I Am Rapoport podcast is up and at 'em. Shit is going down. Holy shit. Wow. I Am Rapoport is brought to you by, we don't have no motherfucking sponsors yet. Yo, I'm looking for some sponsors. But I'm not talking about like sponsors. I want to have some people that I like and shit. Like, let me see what I like. If I had my ideal sponsors, what would they be? Snapple. I would love to be able to get Snapple because I fucking love Snapple. My kids love Snapple. The flavors of Snapple are hard to find. I want to be hooked up with Snapple. I'll promote. I don't even have to get paid. Just give me the flavors that I want because it's like, are the flavors seasonal? Where the fuck do you get the Snapples that you want? I like half lemonade, half iced tea. I like kiwi strawberry. I like green lemon tea. I like that. Sometimes I can find it, sometimes I can't. Certain bodegas in New York have it. Certain flavors don't even seem to make it out to the West Coast. What's up with that? New Balance. Fucks with New Balance. I wear New Balance. Anybody that knows me knows I'm probably the coolest person who wears New Balances. New Balances sometimes are associated with only old Jews, and that is true. Old Jews in New York City wear gray New Balances. We call those the Larry Davids. The gray pair of 993s, I call those the Larry Davids. I stopped wearing those because Larry David started wearing them, or I noticed he was wearing them. He probably was wearing them before me, and I was like, fuck that. I'm already starting to resemble Larry David enough at 44. I don't want to be walking around wearing the same sneakers as him. I'm cooler than motherfucking Larry David. He's way richer, but I'm cooler. I mean, he's cool in his way, but as far as cool, fly, hip, dope, I'm fucking cooler. All right? He's somebody I'd want to interview on this I Am Rapoport stereo podcast. I forgot. We are in stereo. We don't come at you with mono and shit. We are in stereo. We are in 3D, 4D, 6-channel, 7-channel. We do it all over here. That's right. Who else would I want to be sponsored by? H&H Bagels in New York City. Bagels that I love. The best bagel, cream cheese, and lox in New York City's H&H on 2nd Avenue. I don't want to hear any shit. I don't want to hear any shit from you or anybody else about any other bagels in Manhattan. I'm sure there's great ones in Brooklyn, and everybody's got their shit. Oh, my Long Island. Fuck that. In Manhattan, H&H Bagels. I would love them as a sponsor. I know Essa Bagels is good downtown on 1st Avenue. Sorry, I'm H&H for life. Wexler's Bagels, cream cheese, and lox. Whitefish. Sliced fish, red fish, green fish, one fish, two fish. They're fucking good in Los Angeles. They would be a dream sponsor. See who else? I don't know. Okay, we went rogue. We went solo on that ass. And we did this podcast. The I Am Rapoport podcast is solo on that ass. We are sponsorless right now. But don't fucking sleep. I'll be back in a few months and I'll have real sponsors and I'll be able to say, the I Am Rapoport podcast is brought to you by boom, 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 boom. It'll be all fucking shit-stained companies, whatever. It won't be anything I want, but that's fine. I'm just happy to be here. I'm excited to be here. And I hope you're enjoying this first introductory I Am Rapoport podcast. I'll be back with great guests, fun times, talking hip-hop. We're talking bebop, talking basketball, football, politics, cinema. We're discussing Raging Bull. Raging Bull, the movie Raging Bull will probably come up every week during this podcast. I will probably do a line from Raging Bull. Matter of fact, I will start with my first Raging Bull line, my first Raging Bull quote, or it might morph into De Niro line of the week, or the Al Pacino line of the week. Sponsored by, that'll be fucking sick. Babe, I want to find a sponsor for the Al Pacino or Robert De Niro line of the week is brought to you by 1-800-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I'm looking for sponsors. Who wants to sponsor my Robert De Niro line of the week, where I do, or a guest does, their favorite line from a Robert De Niro film, and then we discuss that line and the film. Who wants to be that sponsor? So my first favorite line from Robert De Niro is from Raging Bull, and it is, judges didn't know. Who knows what happened with them? People knew. And you thought I was messing around. You know when I mess around? I get that championship belt. Yeah, so what? The girl goes, yeah, so what? I love that line. Judges didn't know, the people knew. The judges didn't know, the people knew. If that's not a fucking metaphor for life, in Raging Bull, the first 8 minutes of the movie, the judges didn't know, you know what that means? That means fuck authority. That means fuck people that think they know everything. That means fuck fucking critics. That means fuck your fear. Fuck that little inner voice in you and go for it. The judges didn't know, the people knew, and you thought I was out there messing around. Okay? Great advice from Jake LaMotta, played by Robert De Niro, in my favorite all-time movie, Raging Bull. The judges didn't know, the people knew, and you thought I was out there messing around. Fooling around. The purists are going to be like, you don't know the movie. I'm going off the cuff here. And you thought I was out there fooling around. And his wife, played by Teresa Saldana, still don't know his wife's name in that movie. You've seen it at least 100 times. She goes, yeah, so what? I'll fool around and get that championship belt. That's when I fool around. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the first Robert De Niro line of the week. That was done by me. If you couldn't tell, I morphed into Robert De Niro there, I know. My impression is impeccable, but that was actually me. I know you thought I was playing a clip from the actual movie, but that was me, and that was the Robert De Niro line of the week. This is Michael Rapaport with the I Am Rapoport podcast. I want to tell you a little secret. Here's a little known secret. This podcast was almost called Just the Tip with Michael Rapaport. But at the last minute, we changed it. The think tank, the I Am Rapoport, the Michael Rapaport team, Team Rapaport. Like Team Money Mayweather, Team Rapaport, TR we call it, TRAP. TRAP decided to go with I Am Rapaport, the I Am Rapaport podcast. Who the fuck knows what could happen? I might change it to the I Am Rapacrap podcast. I might bring back being called Rapacrap. I might take the power away from the people that teased me, the kids, the mean, vicious kids and counselors sometimes at camp that called me Rapacrap. I might call this the I Am Rapacrap podcast. You never know. All right, another thing that I'm going to be discussing right now. Week 1, I am the leader of the Stern fantasy football team on the Howard Stern Show. I won the first week. I beat the great Matt Berry. He's another person I want to get. I beat them all. Week 1 belonged to Rapaport's Delight. That is the name of my fantasy football team. On the Stern Show, Rapaport's Delight. You get it? You don't get it. Rapaport's Delight. Get it? Like the song, Rapper's Delight, hip, hop. Get it? Rapaport's Delight is number 1 fantasy football. I want to tell you another secret about me. I know way less about sports than you might think. I know a lot about basketball. I know a good amount about football. I could give 2 fucks about Major League Baseball. If Derek Jeter came on the I Am Rapaport podcast, we wouldn't discuss baseball. I wouldn't talk to him about women either. That's too cliche. I talked to him about the 5 best parties he was ever at as a New Yorker. Derek Jeter, I would ask you about that. Not about any of the chicks. We know you put it down. But I seen you at some parties. You've been to every party. I stopped getting invited 4 or 5 years ago. They said we don't want him anymore. So you've been going to every fucking party, Jeter. What else? Floyd Money Mayweather. I've been on the record of calling Floyd Money Mayweather Floyd Kardashian. One of the greatest fighters of all time, but I don't like his whole thing. He takes it too far. I love him on All Access on Showtime. Would love to interview him. I guarantee you if I interviewed Floyd Money Mayweather, it would end with him walking out and probably one of his bodyguards doing some shit to me. I would definitely piss him off to the point where he would leave the interview, and I would definitely have one of those 300-pound goons that he travels with. They would definitely be... They wouldn't touch me because I wouldn't fight back, but they would make me feel like they would possibly touch me in a way that I wouldn't like it. Being touched by a 300-pound goon is never something that I want to happen, nor is it something that I ever want to provoke happening. I've been grabbed one time. Here's a story. One time I was grabbed in a club by 4 or 5 goons in the tunnel in New York City, the tunnel, in the 90s. I don't know what the hell they thought I was doing, but they had the wrong guy. And they gooned me up against the wall, had me off my feet, and I'm 6'3", 215. They had no resistance from me. I was like putty in their hands. I was so fucking nervous that if it had went any further, I definitely would have shit my pants. And I have ulcerative colitis, which is something that we're going to talk about, which I've never discussed. I have ulcerative colitis. I've had it since I was 17. So my propensity to shit myself, especially at that time with active ulcerative colitis, my propensity and ability to shit myself was far, far better than most people's. Anyway, they let me go. I digress. Miles Davis, you got to fix this. Miles Davis is my sound guy, ladies and gentlemen. You got to edit this shit, Miles Davis. Miles M. Davis. Miles M. Davis. My sound guy's name is Miles M. Davis. Motherfucker has to call up for chicken, has to call up for Chinese food, airline tickets, and always, every day of his life has to be like, yeah, last name Davis, first name Miles. And I'm sure motherfuckers have said, oh, we're going to interview Miles Davis to find out the top 3 or bottom 3 anecdotes he's ever had to deal with being called Miles Davis. This is the I Am Rapoport podcast, and this is Michael Rapaport. One of my segments that my team of craftsmen, scientists, and writers have come up with is something I'm very proud about. The name of the segment is Wigga Please. All right, we're going to be discussing current events, past events, future events, and if I don't like it, you get a Wigga Please. If I'm flabbergasted, you get Wigga Please. If I'm confused, you get Wigga Please. If it's more than one person, you get Wiggas Please. My first Wigga Please goes to this weekend in Los Angeles. An African-American woman and a Caucasian man, apparently as an actress, were caught. I don't know, they were accused of having sex. They said they were making out. The couple said they were making out. Police officer came because people were watching them. Apparently was a door open in their car. They were on the street during the day. Police officer was accused of pulling them over, saying that she was a prostitute. Police officer said that he was just pulling them over because they were freaking off in the middle of the day. I don't know if you heard the audio of her being arrested, but I have a little clip of the audio of her being arrested.
Daddy, can you hold on just for a second? Hold on. Excuse me. What's the issue?
Somebody called the police saying that there was lewd acts in the car.
There's no lewd acts happening. We paid
Doesn't
for the
matter,
meter.
I have to ID you.
We're not doing anything.
Somebody
I'm
called.
on the phone with my dad. This is my boyfriend.
Okay, I want to
Sitting in
see
front
your
of a public
ID.
place.
Somebody called, which means gives me the right to be here.
So my first Wigga Please goes to the police officer. Why are you going to fuck up a good thing? If they want to freak off during the middle of the day, let them freak off during the middle of the day. Wigga Please. Why are you interrupting that shit? If people are watching it and you're getting a free show, in the 80s, that was called a peep show. You had to pay 10, 25 cents for that. Now, you can't even do it. Wigga, please.
Somebody called.
I'm on the phone with my dad. This is my boyfriend.
Okay, I want to see your ID. Somebody called, which means gives me the right to be here. So it gives me the right to identify you.
Do you know how many times I've been called? The cops have been called just for being black.
That is
just
not,
because we're black and he's white. I'm just being really honest.
Who brought up a race card?
I'm bringing it up because
I said nothing about you being black. And I have every right to ask your ID.
And I have every right to say no. And if you'd like
no, you do not have every right to say no.
You can take me down to the court office and I can make a scene about it.
No.
And you know what? I have a publicist and I work as an actor
mildly
at this
interested.
studio, okay?
I'm mildly interested. You have a publicist, but I'm going to get your ID.
So Daddy, I can't believe it. Like all the things that are happening with the cops right now, I can't make out with my boyfriend in front of my fucking It happened like the other day ago. We were like in our garage and the cops came up just because like someone said it was our place and someone said
it's my right
the black and white couple
to sit on the fucking street corner and take out with my boyfriend. That's my right.
Sweetheart, you're getting arrested. The police officer doesn't want to hear from your daddy. He doesn't care about the story of your life, the plight. Sweetheart, you're getting arrested. Whip out your goddamn ID. We don't care if you got a publicist. We don't care about any of that shit. Wigga, please. And second of all, where's your man? This dude that you're out there, at least if they weren't making out, there was at least a hand job situation going on. I don't know where the guy is that you were giving the hand job to. And listen, I have nothing against a good hand job. All right, I feel like it's the safest form of sex. Everybody's happy. It's clean. It's safe. It's casual. You know, that's a whole other segment. But I'm a strong proponent of hand jobs. But sweetheart, apparently this is an actress. She was in Django Unchained. Wigga, please. Yo, you're being arrested. All right. You were freaking off during the middle of the day in public. Your door was open. Apparently. Yo, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. So you get a wigga, please. Your boyfriend, who I'm assuming, this isn't a fact, but I'm assuming there was at least some finger popping and or a hand job going on. You both get wigga, please. All right, so you getting how this works? You act crazy, you do some dumb shit, you get the wigga, please. Second one goes this weekend in Times Square in Manhattan, the middle of Times Square. If you've never been to Times Square, it's like Disneyland or it's like Hollywood Boulevard. Motherfucking Spider-Man and Batman got into a fight. Two characters that were in costumes, you know, trying to get tips for taking pictures and doing bullshit poses, started fighting. Batman and Spider-Man. Apparently, you know, it was a turf war. Batman said to Spider-Man, I'm going to fuck you up, Batman. No, Spider-Man said to Batman, I'm going to fuck you up, Batman. And then Spider-Man grabbed his ass. I don't know what that was going to happen. And then Spider-Man fucking was like, yo, don't grab my ass. And then he whipped out his silly string and he sprayed Batman with his silly string. Wigga, please. Yo, dude, my man, what the fuck is wrong with you two? First of all, these guys in these costumes, none of them are even physically fit enough to be wearing these costumes. Okay, so if you're not physically fit enough to be wearing a Spider-Man or a Batman costume, if you're not cock diesel, shut it down. All right? It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the kids. Second of all, yo, silly string? Like, what the fuck? Third of all, here's a rule for all these characters out there. Spider-Man, Batman, Dora, all you people. You got to cover your loaf. All right? You got to put some kind of cock piece on because seeing a Spider-Man impersonator with his loaf dangling around and he doesn't have a proper jock strap or some kind of cock piece or a cup, it's not cool, man. And it's frightening to little children. So just off of that, you should be arrested and get some sort of summons. But you two assholes fighting and Batman referring to each other as Batman and Spider-Man, like actually calling each other the names of the characters. Wigga, please. Wigga, please. Batman and Spider-Man, wigga, please. Cut that shit out. Third, wigga, please of the week. Urban Outfitters released a sweatshirt that says Kent State. Now, if you're not familiar with what Kent State is probably most famous for, there was a terrible shooting on campus during a peaceful protest in the 1960s. Do your history. If I know it, you should know it, because I don't know shit. Urban Outfitters released a sweatshirt with a Kent State logo with bloodstains on it. Wigga, please. Are you out of your fucking mind? Yo, you're bugging. Do you get this? Like now what happens? They pull the shirt off of it. It's covered in blood. Students, peaceful protesters during the 60s were shot by the National Guard. Get it? So now, 30, 40 years later, they released a sweatshirt, Kent State with bloodstains. You hipster motherfuckers. Wigger, please. I'm so tired of these hipster motherfuckers. That's a whole other segment I want to talk about. The hipster elite. The hipster mafia. You nerd fucks. Listen, I'm tired of it. With your fucking socks, your beards, and your glasses. We need to shut that shit down. The nerds need to go back to getting their lunch money taken, and everybody, proper order needs to take over. But Urban Outfitters, you released a $129 sweatshirt with the Kent State logo and blood smears over it. Wigger, please. You're fucking tripping. All right, here's another one. Kanye West, my main fucking man. Kanye, I love you. Yeezy season. Wheezy. I love Kanye. I love you. I love your music. I love your production. I even like the way you dress, No Bruno. You got good style. My kids love you. My son loves you. My kids love you. Both my kids love you. They want to be you. You actually took my son from wearing just basketball shorts and cruddy stained t-shirts to having some fashion sense. You inspired them. They love your music. I love your music. Been a fan since I first heard you. With the Rockefeller stuff, the production. I love you, but you're bugging out. All right. At a show in Australia this weekend, Kanye refused to continue to perform until everybody stood up. Apparently, most of the crowd stood up, except for a handful of people. And he was like, stand up, stand up. I'm not going to perform until you could stand up. And the crowd was gesturing, doing like something with their arms. Turns out the motherfuckers that weren't standing up were in wheelchairs. Okay? Listen, Kanye, I went to your show. I didn't stand up. First of all, you were in a mask for like 90 minutes of the show. For all I know, it could have been a stunt double. Second of all, my fucking feet hurt. So Wigger, please, man. Listen, if I don't want to stand up during the show, I'm not going to stand up. And if the dude in the wheelchair isn't standing up, you got blinders on, man. The motherfucker is in a wheelchair. Apparently some other dude who had a trick leg, he raised his prosthetic leg to say, yo, I can't stand up. I got a fucking bum leg here. I got a trick leg. Then when Kanye saw that the guy had a prosthetic leg and the guy was in the wheelchair, he let go. But don't you think you embarrassed these dudes? Wigger, please. He probably felt like shit when he realized that you were really serious about not performing until everybody stood up. So Wigger, please, Kanye, cool out, man. We love you. Everybody loves you. You're the guy. You're the fucking guy. But you can't be making people... Look, I didn't stand up your whole show, and I'm a big fan. And then I told you how great the show was after the show. I'm 44 years old. My fucking feet hurt. All right? And I had on my New Balances. My comfortable New Balances, I still couldn't stand up. And I was frustrated watching the Yeezus tour. You had that fucking Phantom of the Opera mask on for the whole time. I didn't know who the fuck was going to pop out from underneath there. It was in the Staples Center. At one point, you looked taller than your normal self. I thought Kobe was performing. I don't fucking know. So, Kanye, you get Wigger, please. All right, that is the world premiere episode of the I Am Rapoport podcast. I am Michael Rapaport. This is a pleasure. I'm super duper motherfucking excited about doing this. I'm super duper excited about the I Am Rapoport podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. It's going to get better in the future. In the Futura, we're going to be interviewing sports people, musicians, my gardener, my pool guy, fucking... anybody you want. Anybody that you people think might be interesting for me to talk to, I'm going to track down. It's been a pleasure. I am signing out on the world premiere episode of the I Am Rapoport podcast. Talk to you soon.